B-A-T. It's in the name.
Welcome into the Helping Healing Humor with Ben and Travis podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be coming live to you. Well, not live to you on podcast, but we're live right now in the Opryland Hotel from Lads to Leaders in Nashville, Tennessee. And so we're going to talk a little bit about Lads and what it means to us and how good they've been to us as well. And we'll talk about that conversation, or we'll have that conversation right after these important messages.
The Adventures of Ben and Travis and the Joy Rider, the second book in our series. It focuses on helping you learn how to find joy in difficult times and to see how people with special needs also have some wonderfully special powers of encouragement. You can pre-order your copy at benandtravis.com/books.
I'm Travis Creasy, campus minister of Riverside Christian Academy, pulpit minister for Riverside Church of Christ in Fayetteville, Tennessee. That's all-pro counselor with 3-Chord Counseling. Ben Hayes is also the pulpit minister at Highland Park Church of Christ in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. And as stated, we are at Lads to Leaders. And Ben, I'm going to tell you, I got done running a 5K this morning.
Yeah.
We had spring formal Thursday night. Yesterday I did all the yard work, hopefully for the next 2 weeks, depending on how much rain.
Very nice.
Got up this morning, ran a 5K, jumped in the truck, drove up here to Nashville so that we could podcast,
Straight to the
talk
podcast.
a little bit about the Adventures of Ben and Travis and the Worry Coaster with folks and the Joy Rider. And on the way, right before I got in the truck, I hit up the Magic Mind.
There you go.
And man, I'm ready to roll. Not having any energy problem. Ready to roll. Drove up about an hour and 40 minutes. Been here since about 12:15. And man, no drop off, no nothing. And so magicmind.com/BAT20, 48% off your initial subscription. It's very easy to cancel. I think you can even do it via text message. But man, it's a great day. Thankful to be here with you in Nashville, Tennessee at the Lads to Leader Convention. And there's a bunch going on all over the country. And I know there's some that happen at different times of the year.
Yep.
But you're here with Highland Park. How's it going for your crew so far?
Man, it's just busy. Thursday, you're getting here. You're trying to set up. I'm setting up our booth. Or setting up the puppet stages. Getting all of our group stuff to a room. I think I looked back at my phone yesterday. I think day one, I walked 9 miles just doing stuff all day. I think yesterday I walked 5 or 6 miles. I think today's a little lighter. I think it gets a little bit better as the days go on, but those first couple of days, this is a big place. Yes. So a lot of the conferences, conventions are not in Nashville. They're in like Atlanta, Memphis, different places, and they're all like in one little hotel. The thing about Gaylord Opryland Hotel, if you've never been here, it's like 5 hotels in one. And instead of like them all feeling like they connect in the exact way that they should, like this elevator doesn't get you to the place you need to go. You got to go down an elevator, go down a hall, go up another elevator, and it's like, it's a complicated thing. And so sometimes I've probably been going the wrong way most of the time because something will be on the other side of the place. So it's just a lot of walking, but it's fun.
Oh, man.
Because there's so many people. You see people you haven't seen in a long time. We see people, we hang out with at CYC. People we graduated with at Freed many moons ago.
Walk up and shout out to them. What a compliment. They've not changed very little. Very little. So you recognize them. You're like, oh, I went to school with them. And I can even sometimes recall their name, which is very impressive because I can't remember names to save my life. So what are some of the competitions that your kids are involved in, or Highland Park kids, whichever one?
So we had some involved in puppets yesterday. We actually had 4 puppet teams. So I went to 4 different puppet stages and watched stuff. We had kids in song leading, kids in speech today. We've still got song leading upcoming. We've got we had some art says it, where they did some art stuff. And then there's the things you do year-round song leading, Good Samaritan, stuff like that. And so it's been pretty busy with between all those things.
They're all in different rooms, I'm sure.
Yeah, all over the place.
All over the place. Get your steps
age,
in. Yeah. Get some encouragement. And I think that's the key for me out of all this, whether somebody places or not. Like it's a lesson in you can do difficult things. I think I use that phrase about every week at some point, either with my own kids or students. You can do difficult things, and I think about the ones that are year round. I mean, that takes some commitment. That's some time commitment through the year. Then you've got guys and gals getting up in front of groups of people that they don't know and being judged by people they probably don't know. And so being able to get over that hump is a huge thing. And I think both of us would speak to the earlier that process can start, the better you are. And I think about I didn't preach my first sermon or do really any public speaking till I was like 18 years old. I made the mistake of getting up at Camp Maywood and speaking in front of the bonfire. And I don't know if it was you or somebody else told Gary Gooch, hey, that guy can
preach,
can get up there and talk. And, you know, and so, and I feel like I'm better than I was at 18, or at least I hope so.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those things. It's like you just get up there and do it.
Yeah.
And you kind of start the ball rolling.
And that's really what Lads Leaders is about. It is not about winning a medal. You know, there's a lot of people, and we're going to cheer like crazy for the ones who win tonight. But it's really about kids getting up and doing something.
Yeah.
And because, I mean, how many people in your home congregations do you know, adults, who are terrified to get up in front of people?
Well, I mean, that's what got me through it. Is somebody came to me and they said, listen, you can get up there and do great. You can get up there and do bad. He said, but, you know, 50% of the people in the crowd are just happy it's not them. That's
exactly right. And there's no better place to fail than in a group of people who love you.
Yeah, and that was another one. You know, these people love you, and they've seen you fail at other things. So at least you're trying to be pleasing to the Lord when you fail. So and you know, the reminder that His word never goes out, it doesn't accomplish its will.
Well, and if it wasn't for Lads, I mean, I don't know that I might would have gotten into ministry. That may have still been my aim. But my dad worked with Max Eady, who there's a really cool full circle story here. It may take me a second, but they worked together, Occidental. They were blue collar workers. My dad was a welder, electrician. Max worked with him, and Max said, "Hey, you know, we've got this thing we do at Highland Park. Why don't you bring your son, who was around 12 at the time, 13, I think." And he says, "Why don't you come and have him do Lads to Leaders with us? It'd be pretty cool." And so we didn't know what that was. So we signed up. We did. I did speech and song leading. That's probably it. I don't remember if I did anything else. And so we came up here. I did both of those things. We did it a few times at other congregations before we came. Some small congregations. I remember one of the congregations we did it at, and this was way back in the 1900s as well. In 1992, 93, and the congregation we went to was so small and so far out in the country, they still had an outhouse.
Oh, wow.
And so we went, like, when we got there, we had to go to the restroom in the outhouse.
Were there pterodactyls flying around?
No, but I mean, it was like, it was way out there. So it was pretty cool. We got some experience, and we did that. Then we came up here and did it, and I never did Lads again. But it kind of gave me the bug, and I like speaking, and I like doing a little bit of that. And so I jumped in and came to Lads that year. And so fast forward ahead like 20 years or 30 years, whatever, and Highland Park calls, says we need a youth minister. And so now the lady who wrote my speech and the guy who invited me sit in the audience as I do my sermon every Sunday. The lady who wrote my speech and the guy who invited me sometimes leads the singing, and kind of a full circle Highland Park moment.
Cool.
So thankful to have Lads to Leaders.
Yeah, and there happened to be a younger, 9-month younger guy at Jacksonburg Church of Christ. It's all, if Ben Hayes can do it, then
anybody
certainly Travis Creasy can. No, that is legit. I remember seeing you and your brother Kurt lead at church, and I think that conversation happened. I think I told Mom, said, if they can get up there and do it, then why can't I? And so you can either give Ben credit for that, Lads to Leaders credit for that, or blame, whatever you want to do.
Whichever one it is.
But I wouldn't. And the crazy thing is like I love preaching. Like, you come to me in my 20s, late teens, even 30s, and Travis Creasy would not say that. Like, I liked it. It was okay, but man, I love doing it now. I don't know that I could do anything else. Some people might say I still haven't learned to do it, but certainly love that. So the influence, whether you even come here or not, I imagine if you're a member of the Church of Christ, you have felt the influence of Lads to Leaders, and probably even outside of that. So
Yeah.
just a great program, and it's always good to see folks. And I like Lads because I'm not really a part of the program. I love CYC, love being a part of that program, but here I actually get to kind of interact with people, and I'm not as on the run to be somewhere else, much like yourself who have
Well,
kids.
somebody asked me this morning, and walked in the restroom, and there was a guy in there, and he recognized me, I guess, from CYC, and he's like, the pressure's kind of off you today, isn't it? Like, you're not having, like, do any of the speaking or getting up in front of people. I was like, yeah, that's true. It's a lot more walking and trying to catch other people, but at least we didn't have to, we weren't having to get up and do something except this podcast. So
I know Lads in Nashville and a lot of the other places are Easter weekend every year, right?
Yeah, almost. I think all of them in the U.S. Well, I take that back. I think they started a couple. Maybe the one in Denver.
Or Las Vegas.
There was one in Pennsylvania. Maybe. I can't remember now where all they're at. But there was a couple of them when they were starting them. At least they did them on a different weekend so they could send out some of their hard hitters to go out there and be there and kind of help get it established. I think India has one, maybe.
Yes,
London.
Yes, I believe that.
Maybe.
India for sure. I've seen.
I know there's at least a
Shout out to
few
Ricky
different
Gudo.
countries. Yeah, a couple of different countries, and yeah,
I would say that most of the ones in the southeast are probably Easter weekend. It seems right.
Almost all of them.
But either way,
Orlando,
you can go to the website.
Orlando, pardon me if some of the ones that I remember are not still going, but at one time it was like Orlando and Nashville and Memphis and Indianapolis, but I'm not sure they've got that one anymore. Atlanta.
I know a lot of the Heritage Cruise.
All those are
in
Easter
Atlanta,
weekends.
So, and if not, maybe you can find one that's a different weekend. But I think that's a pretty almost across the board a weekend that is used.
Yeah.
And like Ben mentioned, there's one near you. I'd be willing to guess.
Oh yeah.
And being a long weekend, it might could, for some people, I know not everybody gets Good Friday off, but maybe it's something you can look into, and we certainly would encourage it, along with things like Titus Camp, which I'm a big part of. That helps with training for teaching and preaching and stuff. Not nearly the large amount of offerings as Lads to Leaders for sure, but it's a nice intensive week.
Well, and there's things like Bible Bowl. Our kids did that this morning, and that's less getting up in front and just spending time in God's Word.
Yes, which we want to encourage in any way we can.
Learning a book. I think it was all on Genesis this time, and so they had to learn the book of Genesis and answer like 60 questions on it. That's a big book. It's a big book with a lot of information, but they did that.
And it is Lads, the number 2, leaders.com.
I think that's correct.
All right.
Is it behind us anywhere? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think that's right, though. Yeah. You look up Lads to Leaders, it'll
You're
pop
gonna find
up,
it.
and you'll
Trust
see
me,
it.
you will find it. It will hit you.
And they're definitely needing people to sort of start going to some of the other locations. I'll say that for them. They didn't ask us to do that, but they had a record number of people at this one this year.
Yes.
And the whole place is under construction. And it's going to be like I-65 over the next 5 years. Different parts of this hotel is going to be under construction. So the fact that they had record numbers here,
right?
They had record numbers here also put them in a bind with the construction. So they would love for, if you're close to Atlanta or you're close to Orlando or you're close to Memphis or some of the other areas, they would love for you guys to kind of branch out, try some of the new locations, just because it's a little tough with the way the crowd is.
So the Adventures of Ben and Travis children's book, we have the Worry Coaster, which is out now. You actually can get it on Amazon. If you need to find it, Barnes & Nobles, you can go to benandtravis.com/books. You can order that one on Amazon. If you got Prime, they'll ship it to you for free. We're working on the Joyrider, pre-ordering right now for the Joyrider. And so the Adventures of Ben and Travis children's book. Question of the day, Ben. The Megladon is on a tear. Right? Something you thought you'd never hear on the Ben and Travis podcast, but the Megladon is on a tear. The Megladon has defeated Bigfoot. The Megladon has defeated the moon landing. The Megalodon has defeated aliens, like little green men on other planets.
And to clarify, that's which is more likely to be there.
Which is more likely to be real,
to exist,
to actually have happened.
We're not saying it is.
We took the Megalodon over the moon landing, Megalodon over Bigfoot, Megalodon over
aliens.
And so we're going to see if it continues. And we'll have to get with Will Mahan again off air to determine maybe if we split. But the question of the day is, which is more likely? The Megladon being real, still alive. We're not talking about millions of years ago.
Right,
Like
but
right now, he's somewhere.
there?
She's somewhere out there.
We should have got
in the
Kyle
ocean.
Butt to come
Yes.
help answer this question, but
And yeah, that would be a good idea. Megladon, or did the Egyptians have the internet? And when I mean Egyptians, I mean like building the pyramids.
the internet?
Did they have the internet?
Did they have the internet?
Did they?
Could
did they have,
Google how to build?
Could they have, like, we have things now that you can train via the internet, like a car. There are cars that don't have drivers.
Yeah.
And so, like, I keep coming back to, how did they build these pyramids, man?
I mean,
Like, how did they build the pyramids? Like, we don't know. Like, people do not know. Like, the smartest people on the planet don't know how they built the pyramids.
and God's
so,
people were there, and you can do a lot of things
I'll-
with God's people.
I will. That's true. I will broaden it, right? I won't say internet specifically, but did they have some kind of
Some technology.
that we didn't have? Right? I mean, I think that's too easy though, because obviously they had something, because we don't know if we could build them now,
Yeah.
right? So maybe
Or
not like.
Did the aliens build those?
I'm sorry.
Did the aliens build
Or
those?
did the aliens build
Yeah.
those? I've heard that idea. So we'll go with Megalodon. Which is
man.
more likely, the Megalodon exists right now, or
technology?
the Egyptians had some technology
Some technology we don't know about.
we don't know about, or was it just on the backs of the Hebrews?
I'm,
Got any ideas? I mean, I'm tempted to go once again with the Megalodon. We know sharks
Yeah.
exist.
yeah.
There's a chance there could
Yeah.
be a large one out there.
Yeah. I think the one thing I know just from reading history and listening to, I mean, like, there were large, I mean, talking about like house-sized stones that were moved by, the Chinese to like miles and miles and miles away from where they actually mined them
Yes.
to help build things. And they had rollers and they had pulley systems and they had people, the backs of people pushing these through frozen tundras. I mean, just some crazy things. So I think it's possible that you can do those things without a crazy amount of technology. I don't think we know how they did it, but I think it's more likely they did it on the backs of the Hebrews or other servants or whatever. And I'm gonna have a hard time unseating the Megalodon. So I'm going Megalodon.
Yeah. I think I'm going to be on that train too. I think, we tend to read into the context like workers' rights or something.
Yeah, but there's none of that.
None of that. There's none of that in ancient
They don't care.
Egypt. Most powerful country on the planet at the time, empire, whatever you want to call it, power.
Thank you. But what do you guys think? That's the question.
What do you guys? I need to pose it more on Instagram and see if the people out there keep Megalodon rolling. But
I don't know what's going to unseat Megalodon.
I think we're going to agree on this one, Ben, that the Megalodon is more likely to be alive and in the ocean today than the Egyptians having some special
Internet-like
technology that helped them build the
or
pyramids.
aliens.
I'm open to any theories on that. Like, what do you think built the pyramids? Were there that many Jewish people? Did they have that many folks? And maybe the Jewish people were just a group that was enslaved at the time.
And they weren't the only
and there were
ones.
the other ones, So there you go, Ben. I appreciate you putting up with my crazy Megalodon questions, but he's on a tear. I don't know. What are we in a month?
I don't know.
6 weeks? He's only been challenged by the moon landing.
Which was wild that
Which
that's
is
the one
wild.
that challenged.
That is the challenge.
But, yeah, there you go.
We appreciate, once again, we'll mention Lads to Leaders. Appreciate them. We appreciate the Light Network, www.thelightnetwork.tv. We appreciate them letting us use their setup here at Lads. This is always a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Especially with the fun questions at the end.
They have such a great setup.
They
too.
do have a
It's
great
just
setup.
fantastic.
I'm kind of jealous of it on the regular.
Check their stuff out.
It's all good.
Yeah.
All good stuff. So appreciate everybody listening, and we'll talk at you again next week.
Thanks for being with us for this episode of the Helping Healing Humor podcast. Be sure to download our free ebook, 28 Days of Focused Living, at benandtravis.com and receive all of our Helping Healing and Humor extra content directly in your inbox. We look forward to having you join us at the same Ben and Travis time, same Ben and Travis channel.